Alright, hi everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this video. In this video, I'll be reacting to one of the early uploads from the Game Theory from the YouTube channel, the Game Theorists. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of their content, and I hope that you will like their video as well. If you do like this video, just go over there and show support to them. If you do like my video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And just comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Subscribe, please, subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's start the video. Man, this video was like back in 2013, right? It's like 8 years ago, I think. Previously,
because I'm on location scouting for information for an upcoming episode that may or may not be about Assassin's Creed. When I say I'm gonna give you an Assassin's Creed...
My gosh, he looks so young! Oh my god, this is like what years ago? Oh my gosh, he looks so... It's like a young adult trying to be an old adult.
Creed video, I give you an Assassin's Creed.
Oh, this face. He had been using this face for, gosh, don't know how long already. He's holding the pyramid.
Video, half a year later, and that's a MatPat guarantee. Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory, the show that's just as complex as BioShock Infinite's ending, with a fraction of the production value. So, about the whole Assassin's Creed thing. Back in December, I did a Minecraft episode before heading out on my honeymoon, where I traveled from Israel to Jordan to Rome to Paris. And, knowing that Jerusalem, Jordan, and Rome were all located...
Wait, he wears spectacles?
Assassin's Creed thing. Back in December, I did a Minecraft episode before heading out on my honeymoon, where I traveled from Israel to Jordan to Rome to Paris. And, knowing that Jerusalem...
Oh yeah, he actually wears spectacles. I forgotten about that. So he had been wearing contact lens for all this time, I think.
Jerusalem, Jordan, and Rome were all locations featured in the Ass Creed games. I'm like, clearly I'm gonna find something to talk about. And I did. I found that Solomon's Temple from the first game was actually an ancient city called Petra that had been carved out of the cliffs in the middle of the Jordanian desert. It was awesome.
Let's go eat things.
But that was it. And an episode that short would be more disappointing than the ending of an NES game.
I'm sorry? Congratulations, sorry?
Was it. And an episode that short would be more disappointing than the ending of an...
Congratulations! Congratulations! The story is happy ending. The story is happy end.
NES game. So then I thought maybe I could expose the game's skewed perception of Middle Eastern geography, when suddenly it dawned on me. That would be the lamest topic for an episode ever. Then Vsauce 3 did a fantastic video on the history of the Templars, and it got like 1 million views, and so that was out, and sad MatPat was sad. But then you, loyal theorists, came to the rescue.
Oh, wait, where's the bunny cry again?
History of the Templars, and it got like 1 million views, and so that was out, and sad Matt.
You make bunny cry.
Pat was sad, but then you, loyal theorists, came to the rescue and told me on Facebook that you wanted to see the truth about passing memories through genes. And I was all like that could ever happen, until I did the research. And then things started to get interesting. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Ass Cred series, the majority of the games don't take place in real time, but actually take place inside memories that have been passed down between generations. You play as Desmond, a real go-getter who decided at age 16 that he no longer wanted to continue his super secret assassin spy training, that he was destined for something bigger, something great. so he moved to New York and became a bartender. Anyway, this stereotypical failing actor inherited memories from his much cooler assassin ancestors because, apparently in the Assassin's Creed world, memories can be passed down from generation to generation, transmitted through the bloodline's DNA. These valuable memories result in Desmond getting his hoodie-wearing New Yorker self kidnapped and thrown into a machine called the Animus, which is capable of reading these so-called genetic memories. It's a cool effect and an interesting plot device, but let's be honest here, it also kinda ruins the suspense of the game because, you know, your ancestors must have lived long enough to pass down the memories and all. But for us today, it raises an interesting point. Can memories be passed down through genetic material? Is there a way that we can see into the minds of our ancestors?
See into the mind of our ancestors, that means that our ancestors must have lived through that period of time until giving birth to us, thus saying that they are our ancestors are the protagonists. Ah!
The famous psychologist Carl Jung seemed to think so, and the designers of Assassin's Creed definitely knew this. Jung came up with the theory of the collective unconscious, basically that all humans shared a set of memories and impulses from the evolution of the brain. According to Jung, this collective unconscious contains archetypes, or universal behaviors and traits, one of which he called the anima and animus. The anima is the feminine impulses in a male, and the animus is the male impulses in a female. The word animus also directly translates from its Latin roots as, among other things, memory. So it makes perfect sense why Ubisoft would use this as the name of their memory reading machine. It's also worth noting that Assassin's Creed isn't the only game to reference this psychological theory. For example, at the risk of exposing a minor spoiler for a 12-year-old game, so excuse me there, the summon anima in Final Fantasy X was so named because it represents the spirit of the villain's mother.
Ooh, spoiler!
Yeah, that big bucket of fugly is a girl. Damn, Seymour, your mama is so ugly, she makes the fabled prostitutes look good. Jung's theory was one attempt to explain why all humans share a set of basic instincts. Instincts like yawning, blushing, and post-micturition convulsion, aka the post-pee shiver. I mean, if there's one memory we've all learned to share, it's the post-pee shiver, right? But there's one problem. Instincts aren't the result of memory or learning. They're actually the result of fapping in the brain. Not the DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball version of fapping, nor do I mean fraps, taps, snaps, or claps, but FAPS, F-A-P-S, fixed action patterns.
Fixed action pattern. I was thinking of that, you know. Yes, I was not embarrassed to show.
Basically, instincts aren't memories at all, but brain shortcuts for responding to certain stimuli. For example, seeing someone else yawn prompts you to yawn. Over time, this reflex has proven to give us an evolutionary advantage, and thus got hardwired into our brain via evolution. It's a compulsion you have no control over. If A happens, go directly to action B. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. In the end, genes are the one dictating the structure and chemistry of the brain, and thus the formation of memories. It doesn't work in reverse. Acquiring new memories doesn't affect our DNA, and thus can't be passed to future generations. So the possibility of passing memories through DNA seems just like a theory. A scientific theory. Or it was, until this year. At the beginning of January 2013, yeah, we're talking some cutting-edge research here, the scientific journal Nature reported on a project where researchers have started to basically create flash drives made out of DNA. How's it work? Well, DNA is made up of 4 different and interlocking bases: adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. What scientists have done is create a code using these 4 bases to represent a computer's binary code of zeros and ones. DNA bases form the binary code that a computer can then translate into documents, images, and sound files. Already, the team has successfully encoded all 154 of Shakespeare's sonnets, a 26-second audio clip from Martin Luther King's famous "I Have a Dream" speech, and a file describing how all this data was converted into DNA, the genetic material in each and every one of our...
This was his... I think that was his first photo in which he had been using that photo forever, you know. Seems forever.
Living cells. According to the team,
Sounds
41
like
grams of DNA will fit 1 million gigabytes, and unlike Laserdiscs, VHS tapes, and the 8-track, DNA will never become obsolete. I mean, researchers have discovered usable DNA dating back to a 60,000-year-old mammoth. So, going back to Assassin's Creed, while it may not be possible to retrieve the memories of Altair due to the technical limitations of his time, Desmond could easily start transferring his memories now, so that little Desmond Jr. can relive his ancestors' memories of reliving his ancestors' memories. It's Assassinception! The trick right now, though...
Assassinception. There's something the sound is like boom, boom. The sound. Waking up.
Is that it's expensive. In fact, in a bizarre twist, we can find out just how much money Desmond's memories would cost to encode. According to the research team, it costs $12,400 to turn every megabyte of information into a corresponding strand of DNA. Now let's just assume that the entire Assassin's Creed disc represents the total amount of data in Desmond's genetic memory. The maximum amount of data on one of the Xbox 360's dual layer discs is about 8 gigabytes, but due to limitations during the DVD burning process, the actual is usually around 6.8 gigabytes. That means Desmond's memories, or one Assassin's Creed disc, would cost 6,800 megabytes times $12,400, or $84,320,000 to encode into DNA. But that's not all. The Animus project is all about decoding these memories back into a usable form. For that, it costs $220 for every megabyte. That adds another cool $1.5 million to the overall price, meaning that you too can have an entire Xbox 360 game disc worth of memories encoded into DNA and read back to you for the low bargain price of $86 million.
That is only money for multi-millionaires or billionaires. It's only money for multi-millionaires, billionaires, multi-billionaires. Is there a trillionaire? Is there an individual person with trillions of dollars? Worth trillions of dollars? I don't think so. Okay, so it's only for millionaires, billionaires. Okay, so millionaires cannot afford it. Millionaires can afford it. Multi-millionaires can afford it. Billionaires can afford it. Multi-billionaires can afford it. Trillionaires can afford it. Multi-trillionaires can afford it.
And here we all thought paying $60 for a new release was bad. In fact, you could get over 1,433,000 new games for that price. Needless to say, genetic memory may not be the most cost-effective storage device we currently have, making it the obvious first choice of format for the next PlayStation console. But to wrap things up, with Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft in 2007 was successfully able to predict the future of genetics research 6 years before these studies started to get any public attention. Now, if only they were better at predicting the release dates of games like Rayman Legends. But hey, that's just a
Guts, and you thought pencil pushing was hot.
theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. So you want more, eh? Haven't gotten your fill of theory? If you like psychology talk, click here to check out my diagnosis of Batman Arkham Asylum villains.
Batman. Oh my god, this reference is so old, I'm pretty sure the viewers doesn't know.
I bet you'll never guess who Bruce Wayne's smartest villain is. And hey, you made it to the end of a 10-minute gaming video that talked about genetics, analytical psychology, and math. If that's not a reason to subscribe, I don't know what is. I know for a fact that only 1/6 of my views come from subscribers. So guys, seriously, it's time to take the plunge and just click the darn button. It's free, and it's the easiest way to get informed about all the latest uploads on this channel, which, let's face it, is important because it's so much harder to find new uploads on this cracked out Netflix ripoff of a YouTube layout. Am I right? So,
No, Netflix is big right now.
Click here to subscribe and help me close the gap on the Game Grumps. Only 800,000 more subs to go. Better watch out, John. Us theorists are coming for ya.
That's very funny. It's a shameless plug for his. He admit that it's a shameless plug for his channel, but anyways, that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching.